Hey everyone, welcome back to another Tic Tac Taiko. Listen, you're in for a real treat this week. At least I think you are. I'm gonna show you a drill that I've done as long as I've done any drill out there. It works dynamics, it works improvisation, it works the ability to play multiple notes with one hand. You can do it on anything, anywhere, and I would say it's made me the taiko soloist that I am today. So stick around and you'll see what's in store. When I started this channel back in early 2020, I already knew a lot of drills that I wanted to teach over time. And I keep coming up with new drills as I brainstorm and workshop and just fool around on my own. But a few weeks back, I was doing something that I have been doing, like I said, for ages, 25 years or so. But I didn't realize it was a drill until all of a sudden the light bulb went off. Hey, this is a drill. I can teach it if it's a drill, and I absolutely want to teach it because I think this is one of those really fun, really valuable drills, and I think you're going to enjoy it. I decided to call this drill the Atom Drill, not because of any great sense of ego, but I came up with it. I've been doing it for almost 30 years. It encapsulates almost everything I like about a good drill, and I continue to do it anywhere and everywhere. So if I'm going to be remembered for a drill, I hope it's this one. And I really hope you like it. I hope you like it a lot. After I finish teaching the drill and the variations, I will tell you why it has been so valuable. Because on the surface, it's just going to seem like, oh, hey, this is a fun drill. It's way more than that, trust me. And if you stick around, you'll find out why. But before we get into the drill, I think you know what I'm going to say. Please hit the like button if you haven't. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed yet. I really appreciate that. You and I are building this channel one member, one fan, one subscriber at a time. Okay, here's the drill. There are 4 rules that you will follow for the base version of this drill. Rule number 1, you will play a straight beat. You will not add any notes nor subtract any notes. So for example, a straight beat might be dun 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 or dun 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 or faster or slower, whatever, but an even sequence of notes. That's rule number 1. Rule number 2, your non-dominant hand will be playing accents or don. For me, my non-dominant hand is my left hand, this one over here. Rule number 3, your dominant hand, which is the other hand, will play quiet notes, or tsu. In this case, that's my right, it's my dominant hand. And finally, rule number 4, you cannot play more than one accent or one don in a row. So for my non-dominant hand, which is only playing don, I have to play don followed by at least one tsu. I cannot play 2 dons in a row. Now, these rules, without seeing what it looks like, can be kind of confusing. I'm going to demo it. You're going to see what the rules look like, and it's pretty easy to follow. So while you watch this demo, let's go over the 4 rules again. Rule number 1, you're playing a straight beat. So as you can see in the demo, no notes added, no notes taken away, just a steady series of notes. Rule number 2, the non-dominant hand is only playing loud notes or accents or don. Rule number 3, the dominant hand is playing the quieter notes or tsu. And the 4th rule, you're not allowed to play more than one accent or don at a time. The demo is being played at a very slow tempo on purpose. When you try it, and I hope you do, you're going to want to play at a slow tempo, maybe even slower than the tempo in this demo. Something that lets your hands really understand what's going on. This part is not about speed. We're going to speed up in a second. This part is about understanding, getting a foundation so that you can build from here. Now this time I've kicked the tempo up a little bit. I don't know what the BPM or beats per minute is, but to me it goes from artificial to kind of groovy. Just fast enough to be a little more fun, if you will. And when a drill is fun, you're more likely to do it and more likely to get something out of it. But we should still check, is the demo following all 4 rules? Rule number 1, straight beat. Rule number 2, non-dominant hand accents. Rule number 3, dominant hand quiet notes. Rule number 4, no more than one accent in a row. This is the next stage, kicking up the tempo, but maintaining those 4 rules. Now, we're still on the bass drill, but the last stage is kicking it to a tempo that challenges you. Again, I don't know what the actual tempo is on this demo, but for me, it's a tempo I get to where playing more than 3 quiet notes in a row is challenging. Doable, but challenging. That's where I like to play. That's what makes this drill a fun tempo for me. But let's remember those 4 rules and make sure that I'm doing it right in the demo. Straight beat only, non-dominant accents, dominant quiet notes, and no more than one accent at a time. I'll let the demo play out a little bit longer just so you get an idea of what this sounds like fast. Every time you kick the tempo up in this drill, you make it more challenging, not just for your hands, but your brain, because now you have to start thinking quicker and quicker. What am I going to play? Which hand is going to play it? Which hand can't play it? I don't normally play this fast, but I found my brain struggling to keep up. My hands were like, okay, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? And they were okay. My brain was like, okay, play accent, and now don't play. And then it was actually much more challenging mentally than it was physically. Fun, but not a place I would stay too long of a time in. The bass drill on its own is great. It is fantastic. You want to spend a lot of time there on your own, at a groovy tempo, at a fast tempo, just getting comfortable with it. If you do nothing else but the bass version, you're gonna get a lot out of it. But there are a couple of other things we can do. One of them is something that regular viewers are gonna be very familiar with. Try the other hand. Switch, so the other hand is doing accents, the other hand is doing quiet notes. You won't be able to get as fast, but it's exceptionally good practice for your other hands to develop that right-left hand balance. I'm not gonna demo that because you get the idea and it's just gonna be me playing the same thing slower. No point in that. But definitely get comfortable with the bass drill and then switch which hands are doing what. But now let's move away from the bass drill and make it even more interesting. Again, this is going to be challenging, especially if you're not used to the bass drill, but I want to tell you what you can do with this drill once you get comfortable and what I do with the drill now that I've been doing it for so long. And to change the bass drill, we have to play with those 4 rules. So let's take that first rule. Only straight beat, no more, no less. Now the demo, I start putting in pauses, skips, spaces, ma. All the other rules apply, 2, 3, and 4, but now I'm just adding some space. I tend not to play more notes. You certainly could. I tend to like the skips more than I like to add a little extra. That's a personal preference, but you can add some and you can take some away, and this is what the demo sounds like. Next, we're breaking rules number 2 and number 3. And if you recall, these rules are about dynamics. Which hand's playing accents, which hand isn't. I'm going back to rule number 1. I'm keeping a straight beat just for clarity, but I'm going to change accents. Maybe my quiet hand comes up and my accented hand comes down. Maybe they both go up, maybe they both go down. I'm just going to start playing around. And you can see that in the demo. But it's important to know you really always want to return to the bass where the 2 rules apply, just to have an anchor so the drill doesn't get too out of control. And then finally, you're going to break the 4th rule about playing more than one accent in a row. Now you can play 2, 3, or 17 accents in a row, whatever. Again, return to the bass rules to have an anchor. What I found out while trying this is if I only break rule number 4, it's really, really hard. So I decided to break all the rules, and that's what you're going to see in this demo. Essentially, all of the rules are subject to change, but again, we're always going to return to the bass rules. And finally, if you aren't challenged enough, first of all, who are you? Second, you can add different things. You can add tones like ka, press hits, buzz hits, all sorts of things. You can also add, like in this demo, multiple surfaces. It's not easy to play technically clean and be musically interesting with multiple surfaces, but it's absolutely worthwhile to try. If it's frustrating, always come back to the bass drill. There's plenty to do there. If you've made it this far in the video, thank you and congratulations. I want to quickly talk about why I think this drill is so incredibly valuable. For one, you can do it on your body. You can do it on any part of your body that can take some hitting. You can do it on a kitchen counter. You can do it on your steering wheel. The fact that you can take it anywhere is really, really valuable just for that alone. But the bigger reason this drill is so valuable to me, when I am soloing, my brain will tell my hands, play this pattern, play that pattern. And sometimes my hands are in a position where they're crossed or I can't do that. I'm not in the right position. It doesn't feel comfortable. But with a drill like this, being able to play multiple notes on one hand, accenting on whichever hand I want to accent at any given time, has allowed me time and time again to play whatever I want, however it works. So, easy example, if I wanted to play something like do-dots to don, I don't have to stick to what's comfortable, right, left, right. I can play left, right, left, or left, right, or whatever, because my hands are able to do it with a drill like this. It's incredibly empowering to know that I can translate from my brain to the drums and my hands are not going to get in the way. I still make mistakes and some things don't come out like I wish they would, but over time, more successes and less failures from this drill. And drills like it, but mostly this drill. This drill is near and dear to my heart. And I've never even thought about telling people about it because I didn't even think about it as a drill. How silly is that? So you are the first to hear about it outside of my own brain. And I really, really would love feedback from anyone who tries it. Whether you tell me what it's like the first time you try it or you try it for a couple of days or a week or whatever, and let me know how it's going. I would really appreciate that. So until next time, keep on practicing and be well.